Hey guys, so I want to share with you how I've essentially created £1 million in 18 months using crystals. And I know that sounds like completely ridiculous, but I feel now very compelled to share like the process that I've done to do this in the hopes that perhaps this may help you. So when I started, I was like, right, can I use this like 3-step crystal process to manifest £10,000? And within the first month I did it. And then I was like, okay, well, now I've done it with that, several months later, can I do this with £20,000? And I was able to do it again. Then I was like, can I do it with 50,000? I did it again, 100,000, like literally on the day of that month, on the last day, I hit 100,000. And suddenly I was thinking like, okay, what I'm doing here now is more than a coincidence. Like I have found something that actually is working. I can't tell you exactly how it's working, but I know the steps to like make this happen. And the final evidence for me at least was like, can I do this for £1 million? And I was able to do it for £1 million. So whatever this is, like I will explain it to you in like 3 simple steps of how the crystals can help you to do this, but like it's very powerful and I don't know exactly how it works, like I say, but all I can do is share it with you in the hopes that it's going to help you too. So just like a little background, I had been into like, possibly you are too, like into manifesting. I'd watched The Secret. I like loved the theory of it all. I loved like learning about the law of attraction and how everything's a magnet and everything like that. And I'd created vision boards. I was like doing affirmations, all these kind of things. And it worked to a small level. I would sometimes, like synchronicities would happen and I get some of the things that I kind of thought that I wanted. But ultimately, it didn't really work. Like I wasn't seeing huge changes. And then that's when I came to realize actually that there seems to be only 2 reasons that you're not manifesting what it is that you want. One is that you don't believe that you deserve it on some level. And 2 is that you think something bad may happen to you if you get this thing. And I quickly came to realize like it wouldn't matter how many vision boards I did, how many affirmations I did, if I had these fundamental beliefs happening within me, I'm not going to be able to get what it is that I want. So then that's when the crystals came into play. I was like, right, I'm going to learn how to clear all these blockages out of me to make way for the manifestation process to happen. So that was like part 1, clearing the blockages. Step 2 in this process is how to use the crystals to then tap into your intuition, into your higher power, and like set what the intention is that you want. And then step 3 of this process is how to then use the crystals to like take action and help guide you of like what steps to actually take next. So that's like the 3 parts of what I'm about to show you. But what I feel like I need to do first is give you like background and context, so like how the hell this happened, like the story, where I was before and how, and then I'll explain exactly how to do each bit. So going back like 6 years ago, my life is definitely not what it is now. So I obviously live, like maybe you can see, in like a beautiful home, like a dream home. I've got an amazing partner. I've got a beautiful little girl. I've got a business, a crystal business, Cosmic Crystals now, which all came from this process. So yeah, for me, it's been like hugely transformational. But yeah, 6 years ago, this was not my life, like on any level. So it just goes to show like how powerful this is. So 6 years ago, I was in a job that I basically couldn't stand. I was working in advertising. I was stressed out. I had my anxiety was just through the roof. I was having panic attacks in my lunch break. Goodness, what else? I've had like breakup after breakup, like bad relationships happening. My skin was like covered in acne, I guess from all like the stress and like the upset of everything that was going on. And like, if you've ever had acne, you know that in itself is completely like debilitating. Like, I didn't want to leave the house. I just felt awful like daily. And it got to such a point where I was like, I just need to go home now. I was living in London. I was like, I just need to go home to my mum and dad. I just feel that bad. Like, even speaking about it now makes me feel emotional. But anyway, it was bad. That's all I can say. So I went back and I was with, speaking to my mum. I was like, Mum, I think I like need to go on medication now. I feel that awful. And I don't know how to get myself out of it. And she was like, okay, well, let's go on this meditation night I've seen. Like, a little leaflet had come through her door. She's like, look, it's called Amethyst Meditation. Let's go. Like, you know, at least it's going to calm you down a bit, so you might feel a bit better. So I'm like, okay, fine. So we go on this meditation night, and at the time I'm wearing like a little crystal necklace, and there's a lady in the group, and she says to me, oh, that's a lovely necklace. Oh, thank you. Can I show you do you know what that means? And I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, it's sodalite, and it means like XYZ, all about your creativity. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. She's like, tell you what, after this is finished, I'll wait for you outside and I'll show you how to use it. So I'm like, okay. Anyway, we do the meditation. It's all lovely. I go to leave, and I've completely forgotten now that this woman is like gonna wait for me, but she's there standing in the car park. It's like all cold and drizzly, and she's like this little old lady, and she's like, oh, hey, I just want to show you like how to use your crystal. And I'm like, okay, that's very sweet. You've waited, thanks. And anyway, so she tells me to take it off. She's like, okay, what you need to do first is connect to the energy of the crystal. I'm like, okay. And she's like, and open yourself up to receiving information. Okay. I'd literally never heard of any of this before, by the way. I've been into crystals, but like I didn't know any of this. So I take my crystal off. She says like, hold it out here. Then she's like, imagine a light shining onto your crystal, onto you. And then she told me to do this thing with my hand, actually. She was like, now you need to open up your energy to receive its information. Like, so I'm just like going along with what she says. And basically she gets me to connect with the crystal. So now like I'm focusing my love on it and feeling like good feelings, like gratitude, and holding it. Then she's like, okay, now say your name is Bob. So I'm holding my crystal. Hang on, I've got one here. This will make it easier. So I'm holding my crystal, and she's like, right, is my name Bob? And I'm like, okay. And it starts doing this. It goes side to side. And she's like, okay, that means no. I'm like, okay. I'm a bit freaked out now because I've not seen this before, right? Then she says, now what's your name? Violet. Okay, Violet. Say, is my name Violet? And the crystal goes back and forward. It's like, yes. Okay, and so now I'm like freaking out a bit. I remember my hand, like me and my mum were like, what is going on? Anyway, she goes on to explain it. She's like asking more questions. And then she says to me, by the way, I'm a psychic, and I am sensing and seeing that in the future, you're going to sell crystals to people. And that's just, and you know, like it's going to make an impact. I was like, oh wow, okay, amazing. But fine, like that. Basically, I just came away like very overwhelmed, a bit of like, what the hell just happened? Very surreal. I went home. I was like doing what she taught me, asking the crystal questions, like going backwards and forwards. And then part of me is just like, am I going mental here? Like, what is all this about? This is so, you know, I was open-minded and into stuff, but this seemed like, you know, even at the time, what the hell is going on? But anyway, so then a couple of days later, my mum buys me a big piece of crystal off the back of this. She's like, oh, after that conversation, I got you this. So I hold the crystal, and literally it was the most surreal thing ever. I held the crystal, and all of a sudden I get this idea, like a lightning bolt in my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna create this company. It's gonna be called Cosmic Crystals. I'm gonna sell crystal necklaces, and like what the women did, I'm gonna tell people what they mean, how to use them, how they can benefit, and I'm gonna share the information that this woman told me, like with as many people as possible. And like, I cannot explain how pumped I was about this. So I'd gone from like feeling awful to suddenly like having this purpose and this thing that I wanted to do. So I'm like running upstairs. Within 2 weeks, I had the whole website built, like found the supply, I had all my stock come in, like everything was great. Turned the website on and then like literally nothing happened. Like it just went completely flat. I felt completely disillusioned. I was like, oh, typical. I got excited about something and now it's not going to happen. Like I'm just so deluded, and felt a bit like silly, to be honest. But I kept it going, and it had sparked this interest in me of like, do you know what? I really want to learn more about this. So I'd like heavily delved into like crystal meanings or what they meant. I started to learn Reiki. I did like life coaching. I did all this stuff. Like it literally sparked this whole journey, to be fair, and this whole like new mindset. And then I went on a course all about how to connect your intuition. And as part of that, I started to seriously realize that like all the things that were going wrong in my life were because of blockages in me, and how I wasn't able to like connect properly to my intuition. And then that's when like the penny dropped and like everything changed. And I realized, okay, I can use the crystals to help with these problems. So this is now where I'm going to get into telling you like exactly what happened. So I then set the intention, and I kind of got this through the process I'm going to teach you as well, of when you connect your crystal, when you ask the intention of what you want to do, you start getting information. And the information I was getting was like, I need to quit my job, I need to go fill in on this crystals thing, and like this is like my purpose basically. And then I was like, okay, now I want to test the manifesting side of it. Can I, like I said, manifest £10,000? Can I do this? Can I do this? And then it all started to happen. So I'm now going to teach you the 3-step process of exactly how to do this, right? So step 1 is we first have to clear all the blockages in our body. So when I said before, you can have belief systems that are holding you back. So no matter how much you want something, you're never going to get it because somewhere inside you doesn't believe that you deserve it, you're worth it, you're good enough, like you've got something going on that is stopping you. So say, for example, your dad leaves when you're young, or you have a relationship and someone cheats on you. You're going to create in your body physical blockages, or some people call them samskaras, but like energy blockages that prevent you from getting into a high enough vibration to actually get the thing you want. So no matter how many times I say like, oh, I want my perfect partner, I'm not going to get it because I've got all this like resistance and bad feeling in me. So this is where the crystals come in, okay? So the crystals have this super stable frequency and energy within them. And they basically work on the energy centers of our body. So we've got, according to like ancient traditions, and if you've done yoga, maybe you know about this too, 7 key energy centers in our body. And each one, from our head down to the bottom of our spine, is a different color, and it's a different frequency, and it works on like different emotions, different thoughts, different feelings, okay? And if one of them becomes either overactive or underactive, it's going to start causing problems in our life and prevent us from getting what it is that we actually want. But what the crystals can do is they can help to bring those energy centers back into like the spinning vortex that they're meant to be. So energy's flowing freely, so those blockages get cleared, and you're able to start bringing in the things that you want to. Now the next obvious question is like, okay, cool, that's interesting to know, but how do I know like which ones of mine are blocked and what crystal I should be using? Okay, so to find out which ones are blocked, there might first be some like obvious signs. So if you've got aches and pains in your body physically anywhere, this could be an indication that like happen a lot, that you've got a blockage in that area energetically in you that could be coming from something. So say you've got indigestion problems or IBS, you may have an energy block in your sacral or like energy center near your stomach, your sacral chakra. So in that case, you'd want to use crystals that work on that. You could be getting chest pains, problems with your lungs, achy shoulders, achy back, like problems around this area. That could mean like you've got issues with your heart chakra. So physical issues to start with will indicate like what's going on. But then also it can be emotional problems that crop up. So say again, a heart chakra one might be that you just feel closed down, like you physically feel like the energy in this area is just shut, like you can't have relationships, you don't want to let anyone in. Obviously, like there's blockages there. With your throat, you might not feel able to speak up, you can't speak your truth. You've probably got energy blockages or something going on in your throat chakra. So you're gonna need the crystals to work on those particular ones. Now, without getting too complicated, because this feels like it could be a whole nother video in itself, like what each one means, like symptoms, causes, all this kind of thing. All you need to know is you just will be intuitively drawn to the crystal that you need, because for some reason you get drawn to the color of the crystal that's going to work on the area that you need. I don't know how that works, I don't know why that works, that's just the way it is. So if you see a selection of crystals, you'll be like, oh, I don't know why that one just pops out to me. Go with that. That's probably going to be the chakra or energy in your body that you need help with. So look at what that crystal means, find some positive affirmations that go with it to help unlock maybe like the negative cycles that you've got going on. And then you can hold that crystal and meditate with it at night, like wear it all the time. Crystal jewelry is amazing for that because it's like constantly touching your skin. Like the crystal energy itself will help to balance out the area. Also, when you hold it every day, you're just focusing on that, like you're putting your mind and intention onto clearing it. And the more like you bring focus and attention to it, the quicker it's going to clear for you. So say like with the heart thing, every day I'm going to hold a rose quartz and be like, right, I'm open to receiving love. I let love flow through me now. Like you're going to say, like you want to be saying phrases and affirmations and things that are really just going to unblock that area for you. So this is step one. And I feel like step one is like basically a never-ending step. Like there's always going to be things cropping up, new problems, life's going to throw you a curveball. Your energy centers are constantly going to flux and open and close, and your only job in life basically is to keep this as free flowing as possible and not let those events impact you. So just always surrendering, forgiving, appreciating, like going with the flow, keeping it as clear as possible. So that is a critical step in this manifestation process. Without that, you can't bring in the things that you want to bring in. So yeah, like I said, just find the crystal you're most attracted to, find out what it means, use the affirmations, and just continuously be clearing. If you're really stuck on this, a great one to use is actually clear quartz, which is this one. So this is a clear stone, and because it's clear, it works on all the color frequencies. So you know, like the prism that you used to do in science class, and when you do the refraction, the whole the light spectrum comes out of it and you see the whole rainbow. That's because every color frequency is within a clear crystal. This is why they call it the master healer, because it's going to literally work on all of them. So that's an option, but yeah, just go with the one that you feel most attracted to. Okay, step 2 in this process is you then want to use your crystal to tap into your higher power, intuitive knowledge, like whatever you want to call that. It's like the inner knowing, your kind of inner sat nav that's gonna tell you and guide you into the direction of what you want. So come up with what it is that you'd like to manifest. So an example could be, I want to manifest my perfect partner, right? So when you do that, you want to hold your crystal, tumblestone, jewelry, whatever it is. You want to hold it and close your eyes and focus on what it is that you want it to bring for you, okay? And as you close your eyes and you're holding it, what's going to happen is you're going to start to get symbols and like maybe song lyrics, words, all these things crop up in your mind's eye as you close your eyes and you get into this like kind of meditative state whilst you're holding it. These things will crop up. Now it's going to be your job to start to decipher what those things are. And when you first start practicing this, it can be like very vague, but what will happen is you're going to get better and better at it. And say you close your eyes and you're like, okay, I see this is so random, maybe like a goat, and it makes no sense to you. Ask yourself, Crystal, tell me what this means. Like, give me a sense of like why this is relevant to the question, like my intention. And what we'll do is kind of like following signposts. It's going to give you like clues or like insights or next steps, like a person may pop up. You're like, right, I need to contact this person. Basically, it's like giving you all the breadcrumbs of where you need to go and what you need to do to make whatever it is that you want to happen. So yeah, as you do this process, it will become more obvious what I mean, but try and be open-minded to it. Like I said, hold the crystal, focus light on both of you, get into like a good state of gratitude and of love, and these images and symbols will start coming through, right? As this is happening and you're like practicing this all the time, you'll start to notice in your life like the synchronicities ramp up. So you'll be talking about something that will come on the television, or you'll start seeing angel numbers everywhere, or you'll talk about someone and then suddenly they start calling you. This is when you know, like this is the sign that you're in the flow state. Like, you know you're onto a good thing now, like whatever it is you're trying to attract is going to start coming because you're getting all these signs and clues about it. And then the third and final stage of this is to then use your crystal to confirm what it is you need to do next. So now I've got like my insights, I'm seeing my symbols, like I've set my intention, I'm clearing my blockages, I've got all that going on. I'm like, right, now I've got this feeling that I need to do something. So it might be like, okay, I need to ring my friend Jane. That's like the symbol that I'm getting. So then you can say to Crystal for confirmation, should I be calling my friend Jane? You can do, like I showed you earlier, this yes and no thing. So you hold it. At first you can say, you can set it by saying, like, is my name Bob? No. Is my name? And then say your name, just to like find out what a yes and no is for you. And then you ask your question. Okay, so should I call Jane? Yes, like whatever the thing is. So it's just more confirmation for you about what step to actually take. Because obviously, you know, you just kind of want that reassurance, and it just like helps speed things up for you so you can make quick decisions. Or if you're feeling indecisive, you can use this like, shall I put an offer in this house? Yes or no? Like, I don't know exactly again how this works, whether it's like connecting you to your higher power or your intuition, which is, I feel like is what is going on, but that is like the third step in this process. Now, I can assure you from my experience, if you follow these 3 steps, 1, clearing the blockages in your body with the crystals, 2, holding your crystals and focus, letting it connect you to your higher power and intentions and following the symbols with whatever it is that you want to create, and then 3, getting the final confirmation on what next actionable step to take. Whatever you want to manifest will start happening for you. This is not a passive process. This is not like you just hold onto a crystal, imagine you're going to make £1 million, like in my example, and it's just going to happen. No, this is very active. It's very like clearing, taking action. A lot of the symbols and signs you're going to get are going to take you out of your comfort zone, but still you must follow through on them, because that is like your true path. A kind of advanced version of this is you may start by just wanting things. So like, oh, I want to manifest a car, I want to manifest money. Ultimately, what I've now found is that's fine, and it shows you kind of like the magic of this. But ultimately, all that anyone really wants is like peace and happiness. That's all we think these things are going to actually give us. So if you focus your questions more around, show me my purpose in life, show me my perfect partner, show me what steps to take next. The magic of life will take you to a much higher place than anything that you could actually think of in your mind's eye. So yeah, that would be like my ultimate tip for this. Like, start with the little things if you want to, but ultimately just start going with this, with like the flow of life more. Use the crystals to help bring you up, to help clear these blockages and take you to your next step. I really hope you found this like super interesting. I cannot wait to hear what like your stories of this are. If you can leave it in the comments below and tell me your experience of this, like, has this worked for you? What results are you getting? That would be amazing. I'll also put in a link to Cosmic Crystals, which is the whole thing that happened to me while using this, where you can take a look, find out like which crystals, like I said before, are you attracted to? Which blockages might that be showing up in you? Like, this will work for any crystals that you use, but that's obviously like a nice starting point for you. Obviously, like I said, crystal jewelry is great. It's touching you all the time. It's reminding you of like creating these intentions all the time. So yeah, and then, you know, my plan as well is to put a Facebook group in here where we can share stories. So if you want to join that as well, that would be amazing. So yeah, I hope you find this an inspiration, and I cannot wait to hear what everyone like does with this and like what we can all create together. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it.